6777. That's 605-224-6777. Office is located at 740 East Sioux Avenue, Pierce, South Dakota. Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. Member FINRA and SIPC.
Ponciano gets out of a jam at the top of the bases with nobody out, and the walk will be the only run for the Aviators there in the top of the first. CJ Dupuis joins us in the broadcast booth here. CJ, thanks for coming up, man. Great to have you alongside. Always love a player's perspective on not only the game of baseball, but his own team, and you guys have had a pretty good perspective over the last 8 games. 7 wins in that stretch, including going to Casper and picking up 3 out of 4, something that Jamie Habiger was honest about. He said, I don't think I've ever done that in my tenure. You guys are playing some good baseball right now. It's certainly got to be fun being down in that dugout.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great experience. Ever since I've kind of came here, even with, that rough start to the season, it was all about forming that team that Coach Jamie talked about and forming that tight bond culture. And we had that week-long break. We came back here, played the Aviators for 4, and I think we really started to click as a team and it's kind of that full baseball aspect where, if a pitcher doesn't have a good day, somebody picks him up, whether it's on the bats or it's that new guy coming in from the mound. We've had tremendous success. I think Coach Jamie said we had 49 hits against Casper.
That's right.
Absolutely insane, especially after that first loss. We won 4 here against the Aviators, knew that we had a long drive to Casper, kind of showed up. Didn't play the best that we were kind of expecting, especially after coming off that 4-game set from the Aviators. Kind of started off slow, but then we didn't really take it into that next day. It was just like, all right, whatever happened on Monday, it happened, and take it into Tuesday, it's a brand new day, and that's what we did on the plate and on the mound.
And I think that's something to be praised for, your ability to get off the mat in that series and pick up a couple huge wins, and we'll talk more about that turnaround. Out on the mound to start is a foul ball rifled right direction is Sam Fassbender. Leading us off for the Zap today will be Mason Melton. And we got this window open up here for a reason. You never know when a foul ball might come our direction. Last summer made one nice catch as Fassbender deals the 0-1. This one popped up the elevator shaft down the first base side. Kurt Heath call off his first baseman McLaughlin, make the grab for out number 1. And yeah, it certainly feels like you go on the road, long road trip. Could have been very easy to just kind of roll over after a game 1 like that against Casper, but you guys battled tough. And we talked about so many new faces. Sometimes it's hard to get yourself acquainted, get yourself comfortable in a new city, new team. But there's always seems to be that turnaround point in the season. And it certainly feels like you guys might have found that these past couple games. Cy Taylor, the designated hitter today, takes a first pitch fastball for strike 1. But you feel like this might be the turnaround at this point in the season for you guys after these 2 great series?
Yeah, and especially coming back home for the 4th of July, it makes it a lot easier and more excited to play. And kind of like you said, turning that point.
This one's chopped to Kobe Pexton at short. High throw to first will get over the head of McLaughlin. Cy Taylor sees it skip to the wall. He's going to take second base. And an Aviator gift right there as a runner in the middle of the diamond for the Zap. So Cy Taylor reaches with a throwing error and gets himself down to second. Zapper in business here in the bottom of the first with Ty Farwell coming up. But yes, no, there is no better place to be on 4th of July than right here in Central South Dakota with as much that goes on, including right here at Hyde Stadium.
Yeah.
Ty Farwell with a chance to even this one up, maybe even take the lead. Farwell's got that patented hip shimmy as he steps into the left-handed batter's box. Never strays from his pre-pitch routine. Cy Taylor dancing at second, first pitch to Farwell, down and in. Farwell holds the bat out in front of him, right down the middle of his body there, about a foot in front of him, takes a deep breath, and then he swings his left hip forward. This one misses high for ball 2. Gives 2 quick shimmies. Maybe a superstition thing. He told us last year he didn't really even realize he was doing it until somebody pointed it out to him. As Fassbender gets the sign, takes a long look back at Taylor at second. High and away. Nice grab there from Colin Bird. Do you have any superstitions like that before you step into the box? Any pre-pitch routines to try to keep yourself grounded?
I think a lot of it coming from on the mound is a lot of that deep breaths. I've kind of started to build this past season during the spring a better relationship with God. So I've been starting to, as I walk out on the field, kind of just put my palms up, kind of just like that surrendering point, and just realizing that I play this game and I get blessed to play this game every day, and being able to throw a ball and stay healthy, because I've been through surgery, and just getting that opportunity to continue playing and being out here, like kind of, that more of that like tight knit group that you were talking about that we've kind of started to form. It's like a lot of guys, haven't had the season that they've wanted, especially me, but that support has never went away. Guys still support me and still give me that confidence for myself every time. And then these last 3 outings that I've had have, continued to be better and better, because that consistency and that support that I get from our teammates and Coach Jamie and Coach Johnson.
Great perspective there from C.J. Dupuis. Ty Farwell got hit by a pitch, and he took first base. Cy Taylor was able to get to third. So bring up another hot bat, and Connor Goldberg hitting .326 on the season. He's driven in 11 in his 15 hits, had a huge game last night against Casper. Takes strike one on the outside corner. Farwell checked on at first. He's back diving safely. Runners on first and second here, bottom of the first inning with 1 out. Zap trailing 1-0, looking to even it up with a base hit here from Connor Goldberg. This one up high, runner going. Farwell throw is on point. He'll be called out, but Cy Taylor able to run home and take the first run for the Zap. So it's a thrown out stealing, but I think in this situation, CJ, you'll trade the out for the run there.
Yeah, especially with, Ty there. I think that high fastball, Bird had a pretty easy shot.
Yeah,
Kinda
great
set him
throw
up.
from Colin Bird.
Yeah, set himself up there perfectly, and, it's just 1 run, now it's tied with 2 outs still.
So Farwell's thrown out, trying to steal second. Perfect throw from Colin Bird allows Cy Taylor to score. This one fisted up the middle and drops in for a soft base hit. Connor Goldberg's back stays hot here at home, and he's got the first base hit of the ball game for the Zap. Had one right up in his hands there, and it's got to be frustrating as a pitcher when you throw a really good pitch and a guy still gets a hit like that.
Oh, yeah. There were a few that happened last night against Cy when Cy was pitching. Just some unfortunate breaks to get him out of that last inning. He would have had six almost perfect innings after coming in, and there were just a few bad breaks where he got a lot of off the end of the bat. One bounced over Ty, and then one kind of dropped right in front of Dom, and it was just like barely out of reach.
First pitch to Quentin Ludvigsen, down and in for ball 1. Man, Cy Taylor sure has been impressive on the mound this season, though. Here's the 1-0, turns 2-0, down and away. Yeah, he was cruising along nicely against the Aviators our last time here. Had gotten into the 6th inning with a perfect game bid, walked a batter. Ludvigsen for ball 3. Still had the no-hitter going into the 7th inning, but the Aviators were able to pick up their lone hit of that ball game. Still a 14-0 victory for the Zap. 3-0 to Ludvigsen with 2 outs and a runner on first, and no green light for him. That one in there for strike 1. It's one thing we've certainly seen from you guys this season has been aggressive base running, and it's paid off. Here's the 3-1 to Ludvigsen. Line down the left field line. That's going to drop in fair. Goldberg rounds second. He's going to get the green light from third. Touches the blue bag. It's going to be a bang-bang play at the plate. Throw into Bird a bit late, and Goldberg goes first to home on the RBI double from Quinn Ludvigsen. Couldn't have placed it any better if he tried, and the Zap lead 2-1 here in the bottom of the first. Great piece of hitting there from Ludvigsen, going the opposite direction and driving it into that left field corner, letting Connor Goldberg turn on the Jets.
Yeah, his at-bats against Casper had some unfortunate breaks, hit the ball super hard, kind of just right at everyone. I can't remember how many hits he had. I know he had a few, but there were a lot of hard hit balls that just went straight to the outfielders on that line drive, so perfect placement there.
So that'll bring up Dom DeCarlo. Zap now leading 2-1 with Ludvigsen down on second base. I feel like we don't see Ludvigsen go opposite field like that very often, but I'm sure after that he's probably going to start trying to think of driving the ball the other way. Great piece of hitting from the Zap first baseman. 1-0 to DiCarlo, just outside. Outfield playing DiCarlo in. This one, I guess, a little high and outside. DiCarlo will take it. Now Colin Bird asking for an explanation from home plate umpire Rolando Wallace about where that pitch needs to be. Here's the 3-0. That one outside, and it's a 4-pitch walk to Dom DiCarlo. So now the Zap trying to generate a little 2-out magic. Got runners on first and second. They were able to get Ty Farwell on first with Cy Taylor moving from second to third on a hit by pitch. And then Farwell tried to steal second, got thrown out, but Cy Taylor saw the window, took it, tied the game at 1 apiece, and then with 2 outs, Quinn Ludvigsen drove in Connor Goldberg from first. With an RBI double, that brings up Gabriel Cantona, and he takes a fastball high for ball 1. Fastbender, the right-hander, peeking back at second base, takes a second, now a third look at Ludvigsen, now delivers good off-speed pitch in there for strike 1. Cantona sporting the bright pink bat. That thing is blistering. As the 1-1 in there for strike 2. Fastbender gets the call. And sometimes that's the pleading of the catcher to the home plate umpire saying, you know, that one was called a ball in the earlier at bat, but was in the vicinity. So maybe Colin Bird's pleading his case worked. That one outside for ball 2. Man, you could see that bat from a mile away. Hot pink is the right description for what Cantona's got in the right-handed batter's box. Pops this one up towards right. Derek Barrino filling in for Buchanan under it, and he squeezes out number 3. But it's not before the Zap pick up a couple runs of their own. It was a throw out, but allowed Cy Taylor to score on the steal from Ty Farwell from first to second. Luckily for the Zap, he was over at third and was able to take home. And then Quinn Ludvigsen with 2 outs drove it down the left field line. And he drove in the second run of the ball game to make it 2-1 after 1. Got some mid-inning games taking place here at Hyde Stadium. So let them have some fun down on the field. Let's look ahead at the upcoming schedule here for the Oahe Zap. Of course, 4th of July weekend, a lot of festivities around town. Great to have you with us. If you're out on the water over in Fort Pierre enjoying some rodeo or driving to your next destination. Got 2 at the Aviators here tonight and tomorrow, both 6:05 starts. On Sunday, it will start a 2-game series with the Bison. Sunday's first pitch at 5:05, Monday night at 6:05, and then 3 days off for the Zap before a long stretch to the finish line. They'll play 1 game at home here against the Bison. Looks like they have this scheduled as a road game, but that can't be right. Maybe that's the Bison playing as the home team here at Hyde Stadium, or is that a home-away-home with the Bison?
I'm almost positive it's a home-away-home because I think there's a party bus available.
That's correct. This will be in Mitchell. This
Yeah.
game will be in Mitchell on July 11th. It's going to be a rowdy party bus, that's for sure. They'll come home to finish up that 3-game series with the Bison here at Hyde Stadium. Then 3 big ones against Spearfish before taking on the Casper Spuds back where you just were for 4. 4-game homestand against the Bison before 2 on the road to wrap up the regular season against the Spearfish Sasquatch for the Oahe Zap. And that 3-day stretch, you guys had so many days off in June. What's that turnaround like mentally and kind of not only mentally but also physically when you've got that many days off the month before, then you just get 3 all in a row in the month of July before a long stretch to close out the final 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think a lot of it with those big breaks, a lot of it early in the year was kind of that struggling point for us and trying to just find ourselves as a team. And now it's the fact that, we all kind of know each other and we know what needs to be done. And we know that we have to keep our foot on the gas pedal so that after that 3 days, still get your work in every single day so that as soon as we're back on that Friday, Thursday, you said, we're ready to go right from the get-go. Instead of starting slow, we can start hot right out the gate.
Ponciano opens up this top of the second inning against Kobe Pexton. He gets a little dribbler off the end of the bat. Ponciano will glove and fire quickly over to Quinn Ludvigson at first, and that little cue shot will be the first out of the inning. So a good start for Ponciano. You go back to the first inning, loaded the bases with a couple of hit down the first base line just by the diving glove of Quinn Ludvigson. Ponciano had him loaded with nobody out. He walked in one, but was able to get out of the jam. Allow his offense to score two. This will bring up the pitcher versus pitchers duel, which we don't often see here in the ILB, but Sam Fassbender swinging a pretty good bat, 222 average. Hitting in the 9-hole, and he rifles one into left. One step back for Connor Goldberg. Now he trots in. And that is a routine play for the second out for Ponciano. Does it look like Ponciano settled in a little bit after that first inning to you?
Yeah, I think I can't remember the last time I pitched. I know it's been about a week and a half, and we were kind of talking, and Mason Manning kind of wanted to start a little later. Maybe possibly tomorrow. So, we kind of all agreed on as a staff that we wanted Ponce to start this game.
Love that confidence in a guy like Ponciano as he fires a first pitch strike into Kurt Heath. Ponciano ahead, 0-1, nobody on, 2 out. This one bounced into the chest plate of Cantona. Crowd continuing to file in. Coming from all over the place. We got a big contingent from the USS Pier here today on July 3rd. 1-1 from Ponciano, just a bit high to make it 2-1. Fourth of July, 6:05 start tomorrow. As Ponciano gets a foul ball, first ball into Capitol Avenue, just squeezes between a Ford Explorer and a Toyota Tundra. That one had a little mustard behind it, so glad to see it squeeze through those two cars and probably out into Capitol Pond. Not as busy as we normally see it on a Friday afternoon, as this one's ripped into the left field gap, and that'll get down for a base hit. Connor Goldberg able to trot over to it and get in front of it, but it'll be a 2-out single. So Kurt Heath able to put himself on and bring up Derek Barrino. Cortana Mancuso working the camera today. If you're watching online, first pitch strike there from A.J. Ponciano on the outside corner. Long lead, and Ponciano will step off. Good look there at Kurt Heath. Looked like Heath was ready to take second base. Ponciano with a little bit longer pause, playing that chess game with a runner on first. Had Heath scampering back to the bag. Here's the 0-1. Well, we'll wait a second. Ponciano steps off. Ludvigson holding Heath over there at first, but he's not standing on the bag. He's standing about a yard in front of it. They're going to check on him is Cantona after the pitch. Heath saw that from a mile away, was back with plenty of time. 2-1 Zap lead here in the top of the second. 1-1 count. 2 out, runners on first. In there for strike 2. Reno kind of throws his head back. Thought that one was a little bit high. But Ponciano's ahead 1-2. Love to get out of this right here. So off the end of the bat into the netting. Right over the top of the head of Cy Taylor. Got a couple of bat boys down there working hard today. Noah and Jonathan Vasile. High fastball, and Cantona going to throw down, try to check on the stealing Kurt Heath. That throw way high into center field. Dom DiCarlo backing it up nicely. We'll keep Heath there at second. Don't much peg Kurt Heath for a stolen base threat, but he takes that one with ease, and now the Aviators with 2 outs have a runner in scoring position. But if you're Ponciano, you're worried about one thing, and that's Derek Marino in the right-handed batter's box. 2-2 pitch. Off the plate. And they'll call that one. Whistle it dead, call it foul. And Cantona was hoping that one would stay live. He was set up with a perfect look to throw out the quick-footed Derek Marino. So we'll do the 2-2 all over again. Wind blowing a little bit from our left to right as we're set up here on the first base side. That fastball is high. You do have first base open. You've got .224 average in Colin Bird in the on-deck circle. Guy's got some power. Here's the payoff pitch from Ponciano. Swung on and missed, strike 3. High fastball. Got him to fan. Aviators put one on. It was Kurt Heath with a bloop single. He was able to take second on a steal, but that's all he got as Ponciano holds him scoreless in the top of the second. We head to the bottom half. Zap leading 2-1 here on River 92.7 and streaming live on drgnews.com.
Since 1894, Ameriprise Financial has worked for their clients' futures, helping millions of Americans retire on their terms. I'm Rick Doctor, a financial advisor with Wealth Partners, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. I remain true to the vision of always putting clients first. I am ready to help you get where you want to be. Offices located at 740 East Sioux Avenue, Capitol Creek Center, Pierre, South Dakota. Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Your best round of the year is waiting for you just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806 at Dunes Golf. Play 9 or 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member for unlimited play. And Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. 18 holes and a driving range, beautifully nestled alongside the Missouri River. It's Dunes Golf.
Bottom of the second inning here. 2-1 Zap lead on a beautiful Friday, July 3rd. Big weekend here in Pierre and Fort Pierre, and we are thrilled to be a part of one of the most important parts of these big weekends here at Hyde Stadium with the Oahe Zap. Some good baseball being played in this building here over the past couple of weeks. Zap winners in 7 of their last 8. Post-State Legion varsity squad has been playing some good baseball here as well. Had a great national anthem, big flag going out into the center of the diamond. Mike Vassell was belting the national anthem and did so beautifully. And of course, Noah and Jonathan Vassell, our bat boys, we hope to see getting to work here in the bottom of the second as we lead off with Caden Bazanski. 8-9 and 1 up for the Zap here in the second inning, leading 2-1. Sam Fassbender back out on the mound for the Aviators, and he delivers a first pitch fastball just a bit high for ball 1. Lights haven't gone on yet, but they'll be on soon. This one up and in, and Bazanski had to duck out of the way, but it did catch a piece. Bazanski likes to crowd the plate, force that pitch, force that umpire to make a call. Here's the 1-1. Bounced over the shoe tops of Bazanski for ball 2. Well, if you're not in the central South Dakota area, listening from afar. Weren't quite sure if we were going to have baseball today. Had some big storms throughout the week, including yesterday off to our east, as this one's popped high into center field. Ryan Devereaux with a few steps over to his left, and he's under it for out number 1. But it was certainly a wet week here in central South Dakota. Fassbender with 1 out. Face Dylan Bowie. So misses high for ball 1. This one bounced in the left-handed batter's box for ball 2. Dylan Bowie hitting .216 this season. Little interesting family connection with the 8 and 9 hitters today in the Oahe Zap. Caden Bazanski and Dylan Bowie are cousins. Fassbender with the 2-0, misses outside, 3-0. See if he's got the green light here. We'll never know. That one bounced again in the left-handed batter's box, and Dylan Bowie with 1 out will take his base. Got one fan loving the 4th of July weekend. What was he belting? What song was that? Was that did he give his own rendition of the national anthem? Is that what that was? Well, we're back to the top of the lineup. Mason Melton with 1 on, 1 out, takes strike 1. Check on the runner at first. Bowie back diving safely. I think that fan has probably enjoyed a couple of the Zap summer shandies here on this warm afternoon. Fassbender peeks over at Dylan Bowie, now delivers this one high for ball 1. Couple twirls of the bat from Mason Melton. Fassbender set just above the belt buckle. Runner not going. They're going to throw down at first as they had him dancing. Bowie looked like he was trying to deke the runner, or excuse me, deke the catcher into thinking he was running. A pump fake from behind the plate for Colin Bird. And with that pump fake, Bowie able to get back to the bag. 1-2 count, 1 out. 1 on here at first. Got the red, white, and blue bags from first to third. High looping off speed pitch. It was just that to Melton high for ball 2. We talked about the outstanding efforts on the mound from Cy Taylor over the past couple of outings, but he's not been the only Zap pitcher who has been delivering some gems. Here's the 2-2. That one off the plate for ball 3. Melton's worked the count full. Ridge Linebach coming up with a no-hitter a couple games ago here at home. He's been great. Great to have a local guy playing for the Zap this season. 3-2. Runner goes back our direction just above the broadcast booth. You could probably hear the thump on the metal grate above us from our crowd mic. So we'll do the payoff pitch all over again. Fastbender set, takes a quick peek. Runner goes again, and it's outside for ball 4. So Melton will happily take his bag. Runners on first and second, just one out here in the bottom of the second inning, and Cy Taylor coming up to the plate. This has been a guy who's been ripping the cover off the baseball, and Cy Taylor.
Yeah, the game against Casper, where we took the lead in the 9th, back-to-back doubles from him and Ty. So he set us up perfectly for Quinn to come in and close that game. He's just been on fire. We call him Backside Cy because he hasn't pulled a single ball in the last week that we've seen. He's been on fire.
I think for a coach, you got to absolutely love that. That one catches a piece of the outside corner for strike 1. Backside Cy, I like that. Would love one of those opposite field base hits right here. Get these runners out and moving around. Runners on first and second. This one fouled off our direction. 2-1 Zap lead here in the bottom of the second inning. Breeze picking up ever so slightly, blowing out to the west. Certainly favors the left-handed hitters. Cy's got the baby blue batting gloves on. Say that 3 times fast. Fastbender takes a peek back at Bowie at second. This one just a bit outside. Fastbender wanted the call, didn't get it. Fastbender shows the the hitter the ball as he's peeking in to get the sign. He'll turn around and go through the routine of checking on the runner at second base. Kind of twirls the ball in his right hand as his right arm hangs in front of him. Working out of the stretch with runners on first and second. Cy Taylor antsy in the right-handed batter's box, takes a high, ball 2. I think that's been the best part about these, this 3-game win streak, this stretch of 7 wins in 8 games, is it certainly feels like there's a lot of contribution from a lot of different spots in the lineup.
Yeah, there's not just one sole guy.
Taylor fouls that one off into the netting to stay alive.
We've had some injuries or guys who, might have to just get a pinch hit at bat or a runner or whatever it is, and they step up and make the most of the opportunity, and that's kind of what you're looking for in a team. That's what Coach Jamie always talks about, is always being ready for any opportunity given. So, as a team, it's a whole team contribution. It's not just a few people contributing to success. It's everybody as a whole, and always having that confidence in each other.
Fastbender stepped off for the moment, called Colin Bird out to the mound. He took a couple steps in front of home plate, and I think they got it sorted. 2-2 again, reaches out and slaps one up the middle. Almost colliding was Pexton and Heath. The throw to first is in time, but in and out of the glove of Ethan McLaughlin. And all hands are safe. So Ty Farwell with one out will come up with the bases loaded. That was a tough play all around. Fastbender, after his delivery, saw that one float softly behind him, stuck his glove out to try to make a miraculous play, but I think it caused a little traffic for the second baseman, Kurt Heath. He was able to glove with Pexton right in front of him. Put a good throw on it, but McLaughlin couldn't dig it out of the dirt. So Ty Farwell has a chance to add to this 2-1 Zap lead. Farwell climbs in, nearly wears it, but it's strike 1. Rolando Wallace certainly favoring that right side of the plate from his vantage point. Farwell with the hands right at the belt buckle. Wide stance in the left-handed batter's box. And he hits one off the end of the bat, bouncing softly to McLaughlin. He's going to go home. The force out is there, and a beautiful bang-bang play from Ethan McLaughlin to Colin Bird. Gets the runner out. Coming in from third, Dylan Bowie is the Zap runner who will head back to the dugout. Nice play there from the Aviator first baseman. All his momentum was carrying him in towards that direction, but you got to make the throw, got to pinpoint it, and a guy like Dylan Bowie who's got some speed is going to force you to speed up your internal clock. So Ethan McLaughlin makes up for the, not error, but The play where he couldn't dig out that out from Heath, gets the out at home. And now Fassbender 1 out away from getting out of this bases loaded second inning jam. But you're not out of the woods yet. You got to face Connor Goldberg, who's hitting .326 this season. Already has a base hit into center field in his first at bat. And he fans over the top of a fastball for strike one. And as a pitcher, CJ, I'm sure bases loaded, 1 out, now 2 outs. You've really got to hone in your focus and try to drown out the noise that's around you with all these base runners. 0-1, catches apiece, strike 2.
Yeah, and after that good play there by the first baseman, just knowing that you have your defense behind you, so take the deep breath and just attack. That's kind of what Fassbender's has done there against Goldie here, to get to 2 strikes right away and then kind of put him in that pitcher's count.
So we'll see if Goldberg can battle here behind 0-2. Pitch from Fassbender. Everybody headed off the infield, but it's not strike 3. Wallace says that one misses a bit high. Goldberg will stay alive. Dangerous take, but a good eye there from Goldberg. Fassbender was leading the charge, headed back to the Aviator dugout. He thought he had retired the side. But instead, the count 1-2. A pitch off the end of the bat, foul. Good stay alive swing there from Connor Goldberg. Reaches across the plate just to catch a piece. Two-out hitting and two-out offense has been a big bonus for the Zap this season. Deep breath from Fassbender. Ahead 1-2. This one high, 2-2. Fan below us getting broken some hard news. You can probably hear it. That's enough candy for right now to that young Zap fan. Those are not words you want to hear, especially on 4th of July weekend. Count is even at 2-2. Bases are loaded for Connor Goldberg here in the bottom of the second. High, and he's worked the count full. Walks as good as a hit right here. Keep the train moving down the line. You got Quinn Ludvigsen in the on-deck circle. He was able to lace a stand-up double down the left field line to score the game's second run for the Zap. That base hit gave the Zap the lead in the first. 3-2, runners going, ball 4. So the Zap will score after a great at-bat from Connor Goldberg. Fell behind 0-2. Was able to battle off a couple pitches, draw the bases loaded walk, and it's 3-1 Zap. So Quinn Ludvigsen will take the plate here for the Zap, and Ludvigsen, who is an outstanding baseball player, has delivered a lot of great moments here for the Zap in his Oahe career. Not exactly having the season that I think he hoped he would have here this summer. First pitch from Fassbender to Ludvigsen, down in the dirt for ball 1. He's driven in 10 runs. You can make it 11 now after that RBI double. As we got a Harley driving by with an American flag on the back, giving a couple revs of the engine as this one misses low for ball 2 to Ludvigsen. Fans sure loved that one. Wouldn't be shocked if we have another pass by from that Harley here this afternoon. We're going to go chat with Sam Fassbender on the mound. Chris Romano going to head out and talk with his starter. And I imagine Romano's just trying to calm Fassbender down, say, hey, we're still right here in striking distance. 3-1 ball game. You got 2 outs. Let's just get it, get our bats back to the plate.
Yeah, I think as a pitcher and kind of knowing, when you have that bases loaded, he got to that 0-2 count on Goldie there and tried to be too fine, I think, instead of just attacking. The first 2 pitches, I think he was more in the just kind of, if he hits it, he hits it. But kind of the outcomes that he's been getting has been a lot of ground balls or weak pop-ups, and
Yeah.
he got to 0-2, and he didn't get the call that he liked on that high curveball. Then I think he just tried to be too fine there to get that strikeout compared to, like I talked about, having your defense make the play like they did the out before, and then that in return leads to that.
Yeah, and it was a borderline pitch, but it's got to be tough as a starter when you think you've gotten out of a jam with a great pitch and it's just not called a strike for you. You'd end up walking Goldberg to make it 3-1, and now Ludvigsen is ahead 3-0. So Fassbender just trying to keep everything under wraps out there on the mound, trying to keep his composure and keep cool. No green light there for Ludvigsen. Ludvigsen hangs the bat on the left shoulder. 3-1 is just high. Ball 4, and it's the second straight bases loaded walk from Sam Fassbender. And does that make it 4-1? Sam Fassbender, not the leading pitcher for the Aviators in terms of innings. He's right there kind of in the middle of the pack. 11 2/3 innings on the season. He only started one game, but Aviators kind of in the same position the Zap are, with a lot of games bunched up in the month of July, trying to really stretch out some arms. As the first pitch to Dom DeCarlo is outside for ball 1. Aviators do have some movement out in the bullpen. DeCarlo touching just about every bit of gear he's got before he steps into the right-handed batter's box. That one catches the high outside corner for a much-needed strike from Fassbender. There's that fan again yelling out charge, letting everybody hear it even over in Fort Pierre. 1-1 misses high, ball 2. See if we can get a number on that Aviator warming up in the bullpen. 2 players now have entered. Not any pitching going on, just a lot of getting loose. 2 runs in the first inning, 2 here in the second for the Zap. This one just a bit outside to DeCarlo to make it 3-1. Ty Farwell got thrown out, stealing second in the first inning, but Cy Taylor was at third. He was able to score. Quinn Ludvigsen roped one into left field, into the corner. Scored Connor Goldberg from first. That's how the 2 runs were scored in the first inning. The way the 3 runs have scored here in the second have all been via walk. And another one to DeCarlo will bring in the 3rd run of this inning and make it 5-1 Zap. So now some pitches starting to be thrown. And that'll bring up Gabriel Cantona, who's got a great reason for that pink bat. He's got a family member battling cancer and showing his love in many different forms, but he's got the pink bat. Sam Fassbender was getting rid of some gum out there on the mound and took that throw from Colin Bird back in the chest. Bases are still loaded here for Cantona, who can really blow this thing wide open with a base hit. That one catches the corner for strike 1. Well-placed fastball from Fassbender. Evens up the count at 1 apiece. Cantona, another new guy to this Zap organization, joining us midway through the summer. And he ropes one into center field. Ryan Devereaux off to his left, coming on. Diving, can't make the play. 2 runs will score. Dom DeCarlo will get to third. And give the credit out there to Ryan Devereaux. He went full steam ahead, laid out for that shallow pop fly. But, you know, off the bat from Cantona, certainly looked like that thing might be headed for the warning track. But it was hit off kind of towards the knob end of the bat and created a soft pop fly that really handcuffed Ryan Devereaux. Wasn't able to circle his route back to the baseball in time, and now it's 7-1 Zap here in the bottom of the second. First pitch strike from Fassbender on the inside corner to Caden Bazanski as we batted around here in the second inning. Runners on first and third here for the Zap second baseman, and we've got a time from Wallace behind the plate, and that'll be a balk from Fassbender. So DeCarlo will be able to come home and score. Cantona will be able to take second. And now it's 8-1. This has been a 6-run second inning. And I've noticed that motion from Fassbender. It's a little bit of a hitch before he comes back to get set, but that one was not like the others, and it was enough to warrant a balk. And a snowball has become an avalanche here for Fassbender in the second inning. Oh, 0-1 to Bazanski, inside for ball one. Tough there for Fassbender. Having trouble finding the zone, and then you allow another run to score from a walk. There's the 1-1. Bazanski fouls it off the face mask of Colin Bird. All right, this has got to be one of those moments, like you said, you just have to take deep breaths and think about everything in perspective and try to get that third out of the inning.
Yeah, and we've seen Fassbender a few times too, so especially our hitters knowing that after
This one's fouled back into the netting. Do the 1-2 again.
After a certain mountain, he kind of starts to lose the groove that he kind of gets into after we start having better at-bats.
And it's not really a deep bullpen the Aviators can go to. Certainly not as deep as the Zap have it here. Off-speed pitch just a bit high. Fassbender was sprinting back to the Aviator dugout, but he'll have to turn and head back to the mound. 2-2 count, 2 outs. Zap with a 6th spot here in the second inning. Cantona out at second. Bazanski wears the payoff pitch. Or excuse me, the 2-2 pitch would have made it 3-2, and now Chris Romano will head out to the mound, and I think we've seen the end of the line for Sam Fassbender. 8 runs on 3 hits, 2 errors for the Aviators has made it 8-1 Zap here on 4th of July weekend. We'll be back after this break to introduce you to the Aviators reliever. Zap looking to extend this bottom of the second, put up some more runs. You're listening to Zap Baseball here on River 92.7, streaming live on drgnews.com.
Ameriprise Advisors can work with you to provide personalized, goal-based advice based on your short and long-term goals. Plus, you can track your investments and financial solutions with our digital tools and regular meetings. Call Ameriprise Financial Advisor Angie Teason with Wealth Partners, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, at 605-224-6777. That's 605-224-6777. Office is located at 740 East Sioux Avenue, Pierre, South Dakota. Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
At Darren Boyle Sales, I have the Bush Hog equipment on hand to help you with your spring projects. Right now, I have Bush Hog mowers on hand in sizes from 6 to 20 feet. Bush Hog rear-mounted blades, Bush Hog tillage equipment including 4 sizes of rear-mounted tillers, and Dixie Chopper zero-turn mowers on hand. 3 different models available with prices starting at $49.95. Check out my large selection of farm equipment at the lot on Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre. Like the Darren Boyle Sales Facebook page or shop online anytime at darrenboylesales.com.
Taylor St. John on in relief for the Capital City Aviators here in the bottom of the second inning. Sam Fassbender's day comes to an end after giving up 8 runs on 3 hits, 2 errors from the Aviators and a couple runs coming off of walks for Fassbender. And he wasn't getting some of the calls that he was hoping for out there. Kind of saw it in the body language a little bit. But, you know, for all pitchers, you know, not just Fassbender, who really had to battle tough out there, but as a pitcher, you know, something that you have to constantly keep your mind on is, hey, I can't let the offense that I'm pitching against know that I'm rattled. Is that something that you keep in mind, even if you're having not as great of an outing as you would hope for?
Yeah, I definitely struggled with that, especially coming back in this summer. Kind of like that presence. Kind of Coach Johnson had talked to me about it, having like a presence on a mound. And his kind of philosophy was kind of never turning your back to the hitters.
I like that.
For me, I've tried it, and I kind of get into the habit of like rushing myself then. So, but it is. I understand the point of it and the concept of it, and it's not that I don't disagree with it. But for some people, it's also knowing what works for you well. So, kind of still knowing that presence. So, kind of when I pitched against the Spuds last night, actually, even though I turned my back, you could kind of still tell because you could just tell in my body language that everything was going my way, even if it didn't. Because I had that first clean inning I had got my first out, but then I walked back-to-back guys, but my body language didn't show that, and that's kind of been something that's happened in the past where I kind of let that body language even kind of spiral myself into more and more walks. So just knowing that and kind of keeping your body language positive and confident no matter what.
So that'll bring up, as we mentioned, Taylor St. John. Hasn't had much experience on the mound, but again, as we said, Aviators trying to stretch out some arms, and he'll start with a first pitch fastball in the outside corner for ball one to the 9-hole hitter, Dylan Bowie. He's thrown in 3 innings, and he's been pretty good. Only walked 2 hitters, struck out 1. And he inherits 2 runners on first and second and 2 outs. Here gets a swing and a miss on the off-speed pitch from Dylan Bowie. And we're already hearing some fireworks. CJ, you probably know this by now. Nowhere does 4th of July like the Fort Pierre area. It's absolutely insane. And it's not where can you find fireworks, as this one misses outside for ball 2. It's where can you get away from them. It was funny, Cortana was telling us a story before the game started. She talked to a gentleman who was visiting in town, said, can I find any fireworks here this weekend? And it was just a question of, well, do you want to catch him at a rodeo? Do you want to catch him at a baseball game? 2-1 pitch is lined to the third base side. Xavier Cahill will make the grab, and that'll be out number 3. So Taylor St. John does his job, gets the third out of the inning, but not before the Zap put up 6 and make it 8-1 as we head to the top of the third. One thing that you guys have done here, CJ, throughout this season is Bolt Buddies, and I can only imagine how fun that is to get to interact with some of the youth of Pierre. Another Bolt Buddies coming up on July 9th. There will be 2 more after that date on July 15th and July 23rd. It's for children ages 5 through 12. And the Zap also have some great theme nights coming up in the month of July. Red, white, and blue night tonight and tomorrow, making it hard to tell who's an Aviators fan and who's just sporting the USA colors. And for all the kids, if you want to come out to the game, it's a great time. You get to do some mid-inning games, including the Dizzy Bat, which is taking place down here on the infield skirt. And, of course, you know, everybody's excited about the 250th. Everybody's getting excited about USA Soccer. Have you been watching any of the FIFA World Cup throughout the past couple weeks, and mainly have you been paying attention to the US of A?
I had seen the kind of the recap of the game because we were playing when they played Bosnia. So we saw the recap in the morning when we were eating breakfast. I've been watching that, and then my brother's more of a soccer fan than I am, so he's kind of got me back into that. And so watching some other guys like France and Spain, who has Yamal, who's absolutely insane to watch as a young person, because I've always grown up as a Messi fan relating to soccer, and those traits are similar of Yamal, so it's fun to watch.
Yeah, there's been a tough argument for the Ronaldo versus Messi greatest of all time. Messi's had a pretty good World Cup. Ronaldo, not so much. Portugal able to get through after a wild finish to their match that looked like Portugal had it all said and done. A late goal that was reviewed and taken back for an offside would get the Portugal fans the win. USA will be playing Belgium coming up on Monday night. And you guys will be taking on the Bison at 6:05 here at home. So I'll have to make sure somebody has the game up for you.
Yeah.
Down in the dugout so you can catch that one. 3, 4, and 5 due up for the Aviators. They've got some work to do offensively. We'll see if Colin Bird can get them started. And this one's going to go off the bat of Bird. Couldn't get it out of the way. He was ducking out of the way of that A.J. Ponciano off-speed pitch. but he left the bat right where it was hanging, and it clipped the barrel, and it's 0-1. And one thing, CJ, I'm curious about for A.J. Ponciano, who's back out on the mound for his third inning of work, gave up 1 run in the first inning after loading the bases with nobody out, missing outside here to make the count 1-1. But a long break there in the second inning with a lot of walks, a lot of runs scored, and Ponciano missing away for ball 2. How does that deal you as a pitcher when you've kind of maybe found a groove like Ponciano did, surrendering no runs in that second inning, and then you got to sit on the bench for a while?
Yeah, I think with how we've been hitting, it's kind of...
This one does not catch the bat. This catches the back of the helmet of Colin Bird. And he couldn't wear it the first time. Ponciano taps his chest, says, "My bad" on that one. And Bird will take his base, hit by pitch. It's scored officially. But maybe seeing some of that, some of those cobwebs of a long second inning here for Ponciano.
Yeah, especially the way we've been hitting, the way I kind of took it the other night when I pitched and we scored, I think, 4 or 5 runs. It's kind of just keeping your mindset the same and try to keep your body moving as much as possible without exerting yourself, obviously.
First pitch to Ryan Devereaux is high for ball 1.
So, part of that is kind of expecting us to have a big inning sometimes, especially, once we've seen the pitcher and put up some runs, at least knowing that it could be a long inning. And once it gets to that point, just knowing that you got to start getting your body moving again to make sure you're not sitting for too long.
This one misses high and away for ball 2. Yeah, if you're a Zap starting pitcher, you got to expect some of those innings where you're going to be in the dugout for a while because your offense is producing and bringing a lot of runners across, putting a lot of runners on base. You might be in there for a little while. As Devereaux will take an off-speed pitch for strike 1. Never lifted the bat off that left shoulder for the left-handed hitter. More work in the Aviators bullpen, so we'll see if it is indeed Taylor St. John to come out and face a couple of batters in the bottom of the third. Pitch from Ponciano catches a piece of the outside corner to even up the count at 2 apiece. 1 on, nobody out here in the top of the third inning. Zap leading 8-1. Ponciano takes a peek at Bird, not exactly a stolen base candidate. Good block back there by Cantona. But as a starter, I'm sure you're feeling pretty comfortable with a 7-run lead this early on in a ball game. As the pitch from Ponciano is up high for ball 4. Nice work there from Devereaux to hold up the bat. So the Aviators are in business here in the third inning. But like we mentioned, a lot of cushion for Ponciano to work with.
Yeah, and I think Ponce knows that. He's experienced playing with the Zap. Just knowing that you got a lead and knowing that our hitters will continue to put up runs. So even with the runners on and surrendering the back-to-back walks, just taking a deep breath, reset, and just go right back into attack mode and try to get a ground ball double play and kind of keep that momentum rolling back on your side.
So if you're Ponciano here, you're wanting them to put the ball in play. First pitch high to Xavier Cahill. But you want to get the ball on the ground, let your defense make the work. You're not exactly thinking, let me strike out 3 in a row here.
Yeah. Especially with, pitch counts. I know that knowing Ponce myself, that he wants to go deep in this game, so.
This one just a bit outside for ball 2. Can you feel the team camaraderie picking up over these last 2 or so weeks and kind of maybe the belief really starting to rise amongst each other?
Yeah, I think after that long break, it was really nice.
This one in there for strike 1. And Cantona will take a quick walk out to the mound to talk with Ponce.
Some guys had went down to Omaha for the College World Series, and other ones kind of just went out and ventured by themselves. Like I know that I went to Denver for a few days, so it was kind of just like finding yourself. And Coach Jamie had kind of asked us the question of remember your why and find out like why you're here instead of just being here to be here. There's always a reason, and you're here for a reason, and so find that reason from yourself and not from other people.
Truly preaches to the kind of coach Jamie Habiger is, to have a turnaround last year like the Zap did as Ponciano catches another piece of the inside corner, went right back to that spot with Cahill and got the call for the second straight pitch. Well, you know, the start to the season last year was much like to the start of this season. Slow, not a lot of wins, but the team turned it around in the second half, got to the championship series. This one roped out to right field. Dylan Bowie with a couple back pedals. Will make the catch for out number one. Fire it in. Colin Bird will stay right there at second. Yeah, I caught wind that a couple guys were going down to Omaha. I went to University of Alabama, so to be this close to Omaha and have my school playing in the College World Series was a must catch for me. Unfortunately for me, they got waxed in both games that they were involved in, but still I got to say I was there and see my school, so not all bad. Ponciano's first pitch down and away to Caleb Chai. Good block there by Cantona. You been down to Omaha for the College World Series?
No, I have never went down to Omaha.
It's a fun experience for a baseball guy if you can make the trip. Ponciano misses down and away. Ponciano behind 2-0 here to the designated hitter Caleb Chai. Ponciano with a deep breath, peek back at Bird at second. This one catches a piece for strike one. We may have lost a button on the jersey of CJ Dupuy up here, but I think I found it.
I don't even know how that happened.
Knowing this Oahe Zap management team, there's any crew that can get a button sewed back onto a jersey, it's the folks here at Hyde Stadium. So I think you'll be just fine. Here's the 2-1. Down low, ball three. And if you're Ponciano working with a big lead, this is not what you want to do. Load the bases with one out. Talk about Ridge Linebaugh. He's a fan favorite, of course, around this area. Heard the nickname Ridge from across the bridge. And he's got one big fan that doesn't miss a game, and that's his yellow lab down there. This one's ripped down the third baseline, but just outside the bag foul. And he is, the yellow lab, making some new friends down there. He's either sleeping or saying hello to somebody and living the good life, that's for sure. Payoff pitch, 3-2 count here. Runners on first and second, top of the third. See what pitch Ponciano decides to go with. He goes with the off speed. This one lined down the right field line, but just foul. So Caleb Chai does a good job staying alive. Ponciano with his second start here today. Seven walks on his season coming in, 5 strikeouts. And the payoff pitch again, pulled the string and gets the swing and a miss. That thing was out in front of Caleb Chai forever, and he just couldn't seem to hold up long enough to get to it. Devastating pitch from Ponciano, gets the second out. Now the final hope of this third inning for the Aviators is Ethan McLaughlin. Ponciano quickly gets the sign. First pitch to McLaughlin, off the plate for ball one. Couple of fans playing hacky sack back behind general admission. Everybody having a good time here at Hyde Stadium. 1-0 turns 2-0. Ponciano misses down and away. Been some electric moments here at Hyde Stadium over the past couple of games. We had Gavin Frazier with a walk-off against the Aviators in their Sunday matchup last week. Just missing low on the 2-0 pitch, makes it 3-0. And photographer Tom Plooster down there got some outstanding shots on that walk-off. It was Gavin Frazier sending it out towards the left field gap. on the swing as this one misses down and away. A 4-pitch walk will load the bases. On the swing, thought that Gavin might have left the yard for the walk-off home run. But the base hit did just fine, and he got a water shower, got the cooler dumped on him. Always fun to see a walk-off in whatever form it is. Had Manny Ely play the national anthem on his saxophone. Didn't know he had that skill to him. He's a jack of all trades, that's for sure. Ponciano's first pitch to Kobe Pexton is belted out to left, but right to Connor Goldberg. So for the second time in this ball game, the Aviators load the bases. In the first inning, they got away with 1 run. In the third inning, they get away with none. Ponciano with good work on the mound sends us to the bottom of the third. Zap leading 8-1 here on a 4th of July weekend at Hyde Stadium.
Ameriprise Advisors can work with you to provide personalized goal-based advice based on your short and long-term goals. Plus, you can track your investments and financial solutions with our digital tools and regular meetings. Call Ameriprise Financial Advisor Angie Teason with Wealth Partners, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, at 605-224-6777. That's 605-224-6777. Office is located at 740 East Sioux Avenue, Pierre, South Dakota. Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
At Darren Boyle Sales, I have the Bush Hog equipment on hand to help you with your spring projects. Right now, I have Bush Hog mowers on hand in sizes from 6 to 20 feet. Bush Hog rear-mounted blades, Bush Hog tillage equipment including 4 sizes of rear-mounted tillers, and Dixie Chopper zero-turn mowers on hand. 3 different models available with prices starting at $49.95. Check out my large selection of farm equipment at the lot on Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre. Like the Darren Boyle Sales Facebook page or shop online anytime at darrenboylesales.com.
Bottom of the third inning here at Hyde Stadium. All Zap thus far. They're coming back up to the plate. Justin Coward alongside C.J. Dupuy and Cortana Mancuso on a beautiful Friday night. Lights have been flipped on. Sun setting back off to our west here with some not so dangerous looking clouds over top. And back out on the mound is Taylor St. John for the Aviators here in this third inning. Came in with runners on first and second inning and was able to get out of that. And for Coach Romano, hoping for some longevity out of Taylor St. John.
I'm pretty sure St. John pitched the last game that we played against the Aviators.
He did. He did.
I can't remember how long he pitched, but he did pretty good for a little bit.
Yeah. He hasn't seen much action like we said, but when he has been in, he's been good. And been a bright spot of this bullpen for the Aviators. And you know, we sure thought we were going to see a bright spot for the Aviators last night. You guys were busy getting your third straight win in Casper. They were taking on Spearfish. Rain delays all over the state. Capital City jumped out to an 8-2 lead. Spearfish got on the board first last night against the Aviators, made it 1-0 in the bottom of the first, but 3 in the second, 2 in the third, and 3 in the fourth for Capital City had them in the driver's seat. Spearfish would score 2 more in the fourth inning, 4 in the sixth, 3 in the seventh, and then Capital City would put up 3 in the top of the ninth, put themselves out in front by 1. But a walk-off win for the Sasquatch to win it 12-11. And looks like some Sasquatch are in attendance today, getting a peek at this red-hot Oahe Zap Ball Club. St. John back to work and facing the 1, 2, 3 spots in the lineup for the Zap. Mason Melton over the top of an off-speed pitch for strike 1. Oh, 1, and this one is hit high and deep into left center field. Brody Oilo will call off his center fielder Ryan Devereaux. And 2 pitches is the only work that Taylor St. John will need for the first out. That's good efficiency out of the bullpen, which is exactly what the Aviators need here. That'll bring up the hot hitting side. Taylor, .346 batting average, 22 hits. He's driven in 17 this season. He's flashed some leather out at short and has been dynamite on the mound, and he takes a low fastball for strike one. He is, when you flip open the dictionary, is the 0-1. You flip open the dictionary to utility player, Cy Taylor is what you see. Kid just does it all at the plate, in the field, on the mound. 0-2 is bounced up there to make it 1-2. Will you guys try to get over for some fireworks after tomorrow's game?
Yeah, I'm almost positive that we will be going as a team over there. So some of the older guys kind of guiding us new guys on where to go, especially for the parade tomorrow as well.
This one ripped right in front of Jamie Habiger. Not the first time he's seen a blistered foul ball come his direction. All he moved was his head to watch it split by him and out of play. Yeah, there's really no bad seat over in Fort Pierre for some fireworks because they're going on all around you. Cy Taylor couldn't catch up to that off-speed pitch. Taylor St. John gets his second out of the inning and his first strikeout of the ball game. And with 2 outs, Ty Farwell will come to the plate. Yeah, 4th of July is special. The parade is something out of a movie. When you think about a small town celebrating 4th of July, it's something else. Both towns, just about everybody's over there for the parade as Farwell goes down to get this one and skies it high into center field. Ryan Devereaux's under it. He'll claim it, and that'll be the 3rd out of the inning. 1-2-3 for Taylor St. John in the bottom of the 3rd. Sends us to the top of the 4th. Aviators looking to chip away at this 8-1 deficit. Zap leading here at home. We'll be back after this on River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
Since 1894, Ameriprise Financial has worked for their clients' futures, helping millions of Americans retire on their terms. I'm Rick Doctor, a financial advisor with Wealth Partners, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. I remain true to the vision of always putting clients first. I am ready to help you get where you want to be. Offices located at 740 East Sioux Avenue, Capitol Creek Center, Pierre, South Dakota. Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Your best round of the year is waiting for you just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806 at Dunes Golf. Play 9 or 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member for unlimited play. And Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. 18 holes and a driving range beautifully nestled alongside the Missouri River. It's Dunes Golf.
Ponciano back on the mound here to work in the top of the 4th inning. 1 run on 2 hits given up by AJ this afternoon. I'm joined by CJ Dupuis at the broadcast booth and Cortana Mancuso. Dupuis, you call Wisconsin home, player baseball at Upper Iowa University. And what does 4th of July look like back in your hometown? I'm curious to just kind of get a feel for what it looks like around the Midwest. I imagine you'll feel right at home tomorrow with the parade.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It's been our first 4th of July away from home, but I got some family coming up here.
Oh, that's great.
My hometown is similar to here, just like that small community, and everyone just coming together, especially on like events like this. So we'll have a big 4th of July at our local park where all the baseball fields are at.
Love that. Ponciano back to work. First pitch, fastball misses high and in. Next count 1-0, and the second batter hit on the back of the helmet. As Taylor St. John grabbed a bat and wore a pitch, and he takes first base. So Taylor St. John, unique starting lineup for the Aviators tonight. Sam Fassbender pitching and hitting to start. So Taylor St. John, who replaced him on the mound, also replaces him in the batter's box. And we're back to the top of the lineup for Capital City. And a first pitch swing And a pop-up from Kurt Heath. Shallow center field. Dom DeCarlo turning on the Jets, able to run underneath it and make the grab for out number 1. It's got to be a little bit tough to track pop flies here with this backdrop today. It's not our patented summer blue sky here in Pierre. It's a little. Expect a lot of the same tomorrow. First pitch swung on and missed for Derek Barino, who replaced Brandon Buchanan in the lineup. Buchanan was working out in center field, getting loose. Fouled away, quickly 0-2. And it looks like he may have ran into the wall or just kind of dusted himself up in center because his entire team was gathered around him as he was to the center field wall. This one up and in. Barino, who has been behind 0-2 and worn a pitch, nearly wore another one. Little chin music makes it 1-2. Just hope for the best for Brandon, having an unbelievable campaign this summer. This one way up and in for ball 2. Buchanan, who's played 21 of the 22 games for the Aviators this year, hitting .304, hits leader with 21. And he was certainly shaken up as this off-speed falls in for strike 3. Barino can't believe it, but it was perfectly placed for A.J. Ponciano. And CJ, one thing you'll learn about me, I often compare things to the game of golf. I don't know how much you may or may not golf, but as a pitcher, when you release an off-speed or a breaking pitch like that, can you feel it off the fingers like when you hit a great drive and you just know it the second you make contact?
Yeah. For me, that's actually funny that you brought up golf. Last summer I worked at a golf course because I had surgery, so I could really only golf as I was just training and throwing and not really playing any games. So trying to understand that feeling of golf and that mental game.
First pitch outside for ball 1 to Colin Bird.
Was something that I took into baseball when I went back in the fall, and just understanding that, you know, things may not go your way when you're golfing, and you just got to push through it and take a deep breath. And
as this one's lifted a mile high back behind home plate, that one will take a bounce right back behind the metal roofing over general admission and out towards the concession area.
Yeah, that same way that every swing matters, just like every pitch matters. It's not just
Absolutely. And as a player, I'm more on the side of really going that well, as this one's up and into Bird for ball 2. Runner on first for the Aviators here in the top of the 4th inning. Zap leading by 7. It's 8-1. 2 outs for Ponciano, as this one misses down and away to Bird to make the count 3-1. Well, if you got some time here this summer throughout the rest of your season, get out to Dunes Golf. I know there's not many off days left, but great course over in Fort Pierre. This one bounced into the chest of Cantona, and that'll be a 5-pitch walk to Colin Bird. So this has been kind of a theme for Ponciano in his start. He's put runners on base all 4 of his innings to start this ball game, but he's been able to kind of dance through the raindrops. Just the 1 run in the top of the 1st that came on a bases loaded walk. Loaded the bases again in the 3rd, but didn't allow any Aviators to cross. Ponciano shaking off a couple signs, now gets it and delivers, and it's a first pitch strike to Xavier Cahill. Excuse me, Ryan Devereaux in the left-handed batter's box. Had trouble with these lineups today. Had to remake my lineup card twice. This one in there for strike 2. Perfectly placed fastball from Ponciano. So Ponciano looking to make quick work here in the 4th. He's got 2 on, 2 out, and an 0-2 count here to Devereaux. Peek back at second, now delivers. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Ponciano continues to cruise through this Aviators lineup. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 8-1 Zap. We'll keep it right here. Told you some more great theme nights coming up here at Hyde Stadium for the Oahe Zap. As we mentioned, red, white, and blue night tonight and tomorrow. And then at long last, we'll finally get to see the Stormtrooper and Darth Vader here off to my left. These about 5-foot figurines that have been sitting in the broadcast booth with us all season will be pulled out for Star Wars versus Star Trek night. Do you have a certain Star Wars versus Star Trek that you lean on? Are you more one, more the other, or can you even relate to either of them?
I'm more Star Wars. I've never seen Star Trek besides just some clips on TikTok, but I've watched almost all of the Star Wars.
Yeah. Star Trek a little bit more before our time. Star Wars is more where we reside. Cortana? Trey, she's letting us know that Trey Alexander is a Star Wars fan. I was more so asking where you stood on the... She doesn't have a mic, so we'll just have to pass it through. Definitely Star Wars, says Cortana, which I imagine is more from the movie-making abilities out of that rather than the film itself. She's a big film buff in terms of making it. I'll actually be making an appearance in one of her upcoming films, which I'm very excited about. July 10th will be MLB night here at Hyde Stadium. We got one Cubs fan in attendance. He's got the Cubs hat and the Sandberg jersey on tonight. Christmas in July will be coming up July 12th. Then it'll be Oahe Capitals night on July 13th. Elvis night July 14th. And I think the only way to make it a true Elvis night is to get an Elvis impersonator to sing our national anthem. So we'll see what the hardworking staff and General Manager Michelle Barrett can make happen there. July 15th will be Health Workers Appreciation Night, Healthcare Workers Appreciation Night. We're appreciative of them every single night, including the Avera Medical team who are helping us out here each and every home game. Yellowstone Night will be coming up July 20th, followed by Support Your Local Sports Team Night July 21st. So I'm sure we'll see a lot of Post State Legion varsity jerseys, Stanley County Buffalo, Pierre Governor jerseys. A lot of great local teams, including the Pierre Wildcats, who are some of the biggest Zap fans around town. It'll be Women's Wednesday on July 22nd, and then July 23rd will be Zapper Stars Night. Zap back at the plate. Connor Goldberg will lead us off in the bottom of the 4th inning. Taylor St. John back out on the mound. He's put together some good work, retired all 4 hitters that he's faced. St. John set at the belt buckle, misses down and away for ball 2. And it does make sense that some Sasquatch might be in attendance here tonight. Kind of feels like Zap and Spearfish on a collision course for the championship series. Of course, Casper Spuds have a thing or two to say about that. Goldberg swings and misses at strike 1. But, you know, the Sasquatch have been undoubtedly the best team in the ILB all season long, but it just takes one hot team at the right time in the right series. As Goldberg takes ball 3 high and away. Three and 1 count here to Connor Goldberg. And he takes a leadoff walk. St. John misses down and away. Goldberg hustles down the first base line to get to that red first base bag. Some crackling and what sounds like booth. And I don't think those are fireworks sound effects. I think that's just some feedback from the PA announcers. That'll bring up Quinn Ludvigsen. Ludvigsen drove in the second run of the ball game for the Zap with a RBI double down the left field line. Left-handed hitter just roped it perfectly over the third base bag, got down into the corner. He takes a first pitch strike. St. John working quickly, misses high. Ludvigsen's certainly a home run candidate, but haven't really seen him leave the yard like we did last season. This one down and in. Makes it 2-1. Ludvigsen still yet to hit a home run this summer. And who knows, maybe he's saving all the long balls for the latter part of this July stretch of the season. 2-1 to Ludvigsen, a little bit high. There's some bodies down in the Aviator bullpen, but they're just kind of chatting, watching the game. St. John has been really good in relief here. Walked Goldberg to lead off this inning. Ludvigsen almost tossed the bat to the dugout, but Wando Wallace is strike 2. You can hear Jamie Habiger all the way from over at third base telling Quinn to be a hitter. 3-2 count, nobody out, runner on first. St. John set, short delivery, just a bit high for ball 4. So back-to-back walks has him on first and second for the Zap here in the 4th inning. That'll bring up the speedy Dom DiCarlo. Hitting in the 6 hole today. DiCarlo's had a good season at the plate, hitting .307. He's going to go get a little bit of instruction from Jamie Habiger. Maybe see a little small ball. DiCarlo, with his speed, certainly a bunt candidate. See if maybe that's what he and Habiger were chatting about up the third base line. First pitch to DiCarlo, not showing, sends it up the elevator shaft. Coming in from third is Xavier Cahill. He'll camp under it and squeeze the first out. Thing was hit up into the ionosphere. Sent a mile high. That'll bring up Gabriel Cantona. Just 14 at-bats on the season, hitting a tick under .250. Kind of an open stance from that right-handed batter's box for Cantona, and he takes a first pitch strike. Good off-speed curler in there from Taylor St. John. And this one rifled through the left side, down for a base hit. They're going to hold Goldberg at third. As coming on to field it cleanly was Brody Oilo. Great piece of hitting there from Cantona. Really squared that one up. Able to find the gap on the left side. So now to the 8-hole Caden Bazanski. Another guy that hasn't seen too many ABs this season. As someone roots for the Zap. Coming down Capitol Avenue, Bazanski trying to time up that off-speed pitch, fouls it away for strike 1. You'll often hear that cars driving by that wish they could be at the ball game, honking their horn a couple times. Who knows, that guy might be tuned into River 92.7. Said, hey, I bet you if I honk my horn, they'll talk about me on the air. Bases loaded for Bazanski. That one inside. Evens up the count at 1 apiece. One out here after the DiCarlo pop out. St. John working quickly high and away for ball 2. Looks like they're going to be sticking with Taylor St. John for the long run. Those spectators out in the Aviator bullpen have made their way back to the dugout. Bazanski chops this one right back to St. John. He'll go to home for the first, looking to make the double play down at first base, and it gets away from Ethan McLaughlin. 1 run will score. Quinn Ludvigsen comes across and touches home plate. So it will be the second out of the inning. Colin Bird was trying to get the inning-ending double play, but Caden Bazanski kind of guarding that throw at the first base line. Made it tough for Colin Bird and Ethan McLaughlin to get on the same page. Looked like it might have caught Goldberg on the Bazansky on the back of the leg, but either way, it's scurried off back behind first base. And the Zap make it 9-1. First pitch misses just a bit high to Dylan Bowie. Don't know that we were on the air the last time we made this mention. Had a little bit of technical difficulties. This one's cued off the end of the bat foul. But, of course, the great Scott Colomb able to get us back up and working. Bazansky in the 8-hole, Dylan Bowie in the 9-hole, and they know each other very well. The two are cousins, and Bazansky was credited for recruiting Bowie to Pier this summer. Keeping it in the family. This one misses down and away. How did you get recruited out here, CJ?
My friend and teammate this past year, Hudson Ivy, played here last year.
Yeah, remember Hudson well.
So, kind of was looking at some options. It was, my coach had gave me either the option to play for Casper or play for here in Pier, and Jamie texted me first, and I took it right away.
There you go. Good on Jamie beating the Casper Spuds to the punch. Glad to have you here in Pier. This one misses down and away, 3-1, but as we mentioned, St. John working quickly. This one's in there for strike 2 to run the count full to Bowie. 9-1, but that's the first run that St. John has surrendered here in his relief out. It came in. And the bottom of the third, bottom of the second inning is when he came in. As this one just misses high. And the bases are back full for the Zap. Chance for the Zap to stack some wins here this weekend. Take on the Aviators tonight and tomorrow. Take on the Bison Sunday and Monday. 3 days off to let everybody get their head right before a marathon finish to the end of the month of July. First pitch strike in there to Mason Melton as we're back to the top of the order. And talking about running, not exactly a marathon, but the 4 on the 4th run tomorrow morning. Looking forward to being over there in Fort Pierce. This one's bounced into the backhand of Colin Bird. Couple brave folks will start their 4th of July morning with a couple miles of running. Ducking out of the way was Melton. That makes it 2-1. Runners on every bag for the Zap here. 2-0 count, 2 outs for the leadoff hitter, Mason Melton. And he lines this one back our way and foul. Rattles off the top of the roof and out right around where I'm parked. Normally this is the safest place to park, right where I am, behind this towering broadcast booth, but it is baseball, and man, you never know what can happen on these foul balls. St. John set, and this one fouled off our direction again. Same spot. Might have hit the same spot on the top of the roof. Big gap between shortstop and third for Mason Melton if he can split it. Outfield is playing him shallow. Runners will be going on contact with 2 outs, and it's softly grounded to Pexton at short. He gloves, he fires, and a nice play to retire the side. Melton upset about that one, but a nice play from Kobe Pexton will leave the bases loaded for the Zap. We head to the top of the 5th inning. Zap do pick up 1. They lead 7. We'll be back after this, and also streaming on drgnews.com.
These days, people consume information at different times of day and through a variety of different platforms. That's why DRG Media Group's AM and FM radio stations, drgnews.com website, and DRG mobile app provide local news, sports and weather, music and entertainment news, area high school athletic events, and more. But let us us know by using the Contact Us feature on the drgnews.com website or on the DRG News app. You can send us a song request, a news or sports item, a request for advertising information, and more. Fill in your information, select which type of inquiry you have, provide the relevant details, then click Submit. We make qualifying information available to the public using our DRG Media Group radio stations, drgnews.com website, and DRG News mobile app. Thanks to our advertisers, it's all available to you for free. drgnews.com and the DRG News app are updated throughout the day, so check back often.
New pitcher on the mound for the Oahe Zap. Near the top of the fifth inning, A.J. Ponciano's day is done. Got a new arm, new to the Zap, number 44.
River Walters.
River Walters will take the mound. That's why we love to have you up here, CJ. A.J. Ponciano pitched a great outing in his second start of the season, gave up 1 run on 2 hits. That 1 run came on a bases-loaded walk in the first inning. He would get himself into trouble, but got out of it so nicely, and that's got to be so positive for the mentality of a pitcher to say, hey, you know what? I put myself in some bad positions. It wasn't exactly the way I wanted it to go, but it was the way I wanted it to end. I was able to get out of those jams, keep my team in this thing, and allow my offense to explode for 9 runs through 4 innings.
Yeah, I agree. Even with the trouble, he bared down in the times that he needed to. And, 1 run and they had bases loaded 2-3 times. Can't really ask for much more as a pitcher.
Sure can't. So A.J. Ponciano gets this 4th of July weekend off to a great start for him and his squad, and he hands it over to River Walter. Walters is on the roster. The problem was, he's looking at the wrong team. And he starts off with a first pitch strike. Walters, one of a couple guys that plays out of Bismarck State. He's got a lively fastball, and he gets a swing and a miss. And that's got to be tough for hitters when you go from a guy like Ponciano, who really relies on his off-speed stuff, to go to Walters, who's got such a devastating fastball like that, has to throw your timing completely out of whack.
Yeah, River is a great addition.
As he comes with the 0-2 up and in for ball 1.
He had got his first appearance here on Monday when we played the first game against the Spuds, and did pretty well, kind of knocking that rust off from not playing.
This one swung on and missed, but out of the glove of Cantona. He'll field and fire down to first base, and that strikeout will stand. And it'll be the first out of the inning, and Walters registers a strikeout in his first at bat against the Aviators out on the mound in relief.
But even with that, you could just tell how you said he's a very live fastball. He's a good slider, and so, going from Ponce to River here is a great option.
And Ponciano, as good as he was getting in trouble, he has earned our money. Financial Services, where your money works for you. Even if you get in a little trouble like work for you. Starts off with a first pitch ball to Caleb Chai. And he comes right back with another good pitch to get a swing and a miss. And not only the pitching style, the plethora of pitches different from Ponciano to Walters, but also the setup. Ponciano would show you the chest and the Zap logo on the front of the jersey. Walters, who misses low for ball 2, shows you both number 4s on his back. Completely turns and shields what he's doing with the baseball in his glove from the hitters. And as you guys start to hit your stride in this part of the season, it's got to feel even better to bring in some new names like Cantona. This one way up and into Chai. He's able to duck out of the way. Like Cantona, like River Walters, to say, hey, we've got something good here. Now we can just add fuel to the fire with some great new players.
Yeah, and helping them build that foundation from day one when they get here, and just knowing that it's a full team effort to win games and to bond as a team, and it's not just kind of you're doing it for yourself, obviously to get yourself better, but it's also important to win.
Walters misses low, and that'll be a 5-pitch walk to Caleb Chai.
So, you know, even a few bad outings here and there, it's like you still got the support, and, you know, our team can battle back and win and pick each other up. From those bad outings or bad at-bats, you always have people to pick you up and support you, so then that next time you can keep building that confidence, and then everything kind of just falls into place.
And you're seeing that come to fruition with as many different bats has been able to produce for the Zap over this stretch, which has seen 7 wins in the last 8 games. This one rifled to second, hopping as Bazanski makes the grab for out number 2. Couldn't double up Chai over at first base, but Bazanski stabbing that one out of the air. That was blistered off the bat of Ethan McLaughlin. But Bazanski able to make the nice grab. And now River Walters 1 out away, sending us to the bottom of the 5th inning. Guy taking off for second. Cantona's throw down is in time, and they're going to call him out. Looked like he might have been able to duck around the tag, but a perfect throw from Cantona, and that'll be out number 3. So we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Zap leading 9-1, looking to add to it when they come back up to the plate here on River 92.7 at drgnews.com.
At Darren Boyle Sales, I have the Bush Hog equipment on hand to help you with your spring projects. Right now, I have Bush Hog mowers on hand in sizes from 6 to 20 feet. Bush Hog Dixie Chopper zero-turn mowers on hand. 3 different models available with prices starting at $49.95. Check out my large selection of farm equipment at the lot on Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre. Like the Darren Boyle Sales Facebook page or shop online anytime at darrenboylesales.com.
Ameriprise Advisors can work with you to provide personalized, goal-based advice based on your short and long-term goals. Plus, you can track your investments and financial solutions with our digital tools and regular. Ameriprise Financial Advisor Angie Teason with Wealth Partners, the private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, at 605-224-6777. That's 605-224-6777. Office is located at 740 East Sioux Avenue, Pierre, South Dakota. Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Aviators will call on Taylor St. John again here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Zap leading 9-1. Justin Coward alongside CJ Dupuis and Cortana Mancuso. Thrilled to have you along with us to kick off your 4th of July weekend. And we just want everybody to make it to Monday morning with all of their digits. If you're going to be lighting fireworks, make sure you run away quickly. We don't want any bad injuries. We only need the Avera medical staff tending to folks out on the field, not to you, out in Pierre and Fort Pierre and the surrounding central South Dakota areas. 9 runs on 4 hits. It's kind of been a tale of Zap getting on base and drawing some walks to bring in runners. There have been some big hits. Mason Melton, Connor Goldberg delivered a nice hit, as did Quinn Ludvigson to drive in a run. And Zap would love, for a couple reasons, to, we're not going to put the cart ahead of the horse here, but maybe score a couple more runs, only make this a 7-inning ball game, because with this stretch through July, as many games as there is, Jamie Habiger would love to preserve arms any possible way that he can. And I'm sure that's something that can give us length, we'll take it. Cy Taylor will lead us off. 2-3-4 due up here in the bottom of the 5th for the Zap. He'll take a first pitch breaking ball high for ball 1. Goes right back to that same spot, but same result. Won't get the call. St. John kind of clinching and making a fist with his throwing hand. But he's working quickly. That motion makes me feel like maybe there's some discomfort with St. John, but the clip he's working at certainly doesn't look like any discomfort as he gets a swing and a foul tip back to the backstop. is in the bottom of the second inning with runners on first and second. Was able to get the third and final out. Allowed run to come across in the bottom of the fourth. This is down and away here to Cy Taylor to make the count 3-1. Hitters count here for Cy Taylor. So down and away for ball 4. Scoreboard had it wrong there. It was a full count, but either way, Taylor will take his base and bring up Ty Farwell. And what would you say between Aiden Johnson and Jamie Habiger is the most reoccurring message to the pitchers? Is it longevity? Is it collectiveness? What is it?
I would say having that presence like I talked about earlier, having that confidence on the mound in yourself and belief in yourself. And then the main thing is just attack the zone, no matter what, no matter if we're up, no matter if we're down, close game, just attack the zone, limit walks is the big message there.
So it looks like Taylor St. John's day has come to an end. Great outing in relief, came in behind the 8 ball, and he was able to give the Aviators some good work. He will finish up this inning after a leadoff walk to Cy Taylor. When we come back, we'll introduce you to the newest Aviator reliever here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Zap leading 9-1. Ty Farwell coming up after this on River 92.7.
Since 1894, Ameriprise Financial has worked for their clients, helping millions of Americans retire on their terms. I'm Rick Doctor, a financial advisor with Wealth Partners, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. I remain true to the vision of always putting clients first. I am ready to help you get where you want to be. Offices located at 740 East Sioux Avenue, Capitol Creek Center, Pierre, South Dakota. Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Your best round of the year is waiting for you just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806 at Dunes Golf. Play 9 or 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member for unlimited play. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. 18 holes and a driving range beautifully nestled alongside the Missouri River. It's Dunes Golf.
Ameriprise Advisors can work with you to provide personalized goal-based advice based on your short and long-term goals. Plus, you can track your investments and financial solutions with our digital tools and regular meetings. Call Ameriprise Financial Advisor Angie Teason with Wealth Partners, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, at 605-224-6777. That's 605-224-6777. Office is located at 740 East Sioux Avenue, Pierre, South Dakota. Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
At Darren Boyle Sales, I have the bush hog equipment on hand to help you with your spring projects. Right now, I have bush hog mowers on hand in sizes from 6 to 20 feet. Bush hog rear-mounted blades, bush hog tillage equipment including 4 sizes of rear-mounted tillers, and Dixie Chopper zero-turn mowers on hand. 3 different models available with prices starting at $49.95. Check out my large selection of farm equipment at the lot on Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre. Like the Darren Boyle Sales Facebook page or shop online anytime at darrenboylesales.com.
On in relief is Utai Okatama for the Capital City Aviators. He's gone 4 2/3 inning work, 6 relief appearances, and he has given up a couple of runs, 9 earned runs on the season, 10 total walks. He struck out 4. However, he did give up in some of those earned runs a home run to Ty Farwell that I think just now is landing. It was an absolute bomb from Farwell. Wouldn't mind seeing another one of those here off the bat of Farwell. That was quite the shot he hit off of Okatama the last time these two faced. So Farwell will climb in. He's got a runner on first, nobody out. Cy Taylor drew a leadoff walk. That was the last batter faced for Taylor St. John. Okatama is set. First pitch to Farwell in the dirt, skirts away from Colin Bird, and Taylor will be able to take second base. So runner immediately into scoring position for the Zap third baseman. Clouds that have been hanging over top starting to get a little bit more ominous as the game rolls on. This one bounced in, and maybe Okatama remembering not to leave anything too juicy over the plate for Farwell. He does have the base open at first, which would set up a force out at every bag. Zap leading 9-1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Okatama's pitch high and away. Bird just slings the glove on the left hand out and able to stab it down. And it just reminds Okatama to finish that pitch. Really go through the whole motion. Don't short arm. Farwell at 3-0. Okatama comes set. And that one to Farwell. So that'll bring up Connor Goldberg. A lot of runs for the Zap, but they haven't really come from the standard way you would think of. Get some base hits and then hit guys around. It's been a lot of patient at bats, a lot of walks. You'll take runs any way you can get them. But you'd love to see the home team here start stringing together some hits, driving runs that way. And Connor Goldberg's got a golden opportunity to do so here with runners on first and second, nobody out. Climbs into the right-handed batter's box, waits patiently. Okatama takes a peek back at Taylor at second and fires a first pitch fastball in for strike one. And seeing that approach on the first pitch, I think Okatama was certainly wise to be careful with Ty Farwell. Didn't want a carbon copy of the last swing he saw for Farwell. This one a little bit too far inside, evens the count at 1 apiece. Okatama's got a good fastball. Brings out the breaking pitch every once in a while. Taylor dancing at second. This one rifled down the right field line, but foul. Red, white, and blue night. A lot of folks sporting their USA gear in attendance, especially the folks from the USS Pier. Had 5 of them throw the first pitch tonight. I was a little bit nervous about 5 first pitches thrown. If one of those is off, kind of throws off your catcher, trying to follow that ball into the mitt. Here's the 1-2. Goldberg waits and drives it into shallow right. This will get down for a base hit. Jamie Habiger is going to hold up Taylor at third. And a good piece of opposite field hitting from Connor Goldberg loads the bases, nobody out. And we got a new hitter here for the Zap. They'll replace Quinn Ludvigsen in the lineup, and we Gilbert out of Miles Community College. Another one of those newer guys to kind of get settled in with this crew. Fireworks go off in the distance. Gilbert will take a first pitch fastball for strike one. So Jamie Habiger starting to go to the bench. Bring up some bats. Pierce Hollowell has grabbed a bat. He's warming up in the on-deck circle. Okatama throws it right into the left arm of Dane Gilbert. It's almost like a rite of passage with this team. You got to get hit by a couple pitches. And good thing for Gilbert, this one will register as an RBI, and it makes it 10-1. You could hear that one through the headset up here.
Yeah.
So Pierce Hollowell, as we mentioned, will come into bat for Dom DiCarlo. See how many other new faces Jamie Habiger wants to throw into this lineup. This one bounced into the chest plate of Colin Bird for ball one. 10-1 Zap here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Okatama hanging the right arm, peeks in, gets the sign. And delivers to Hollowell. Good fastball in there for strike one. It's been fun to watch you guys manufacture runs in different ways this season. A lot of different ways you guys have won ball games.
Yeah, I think having good approaches and we stay consistent to them.
Nice backhand stab by Colin Bird. Keeps Ty Farwell down at third. But good approach, that's just what you always preach in the batter's box. No matter what the score is, no matter what the situation is, just take a good approach when you have the bat in your hands. Seen that tonight. A lot of runs walked in. Hollowell ahead 2-1. That one almost hit him. Runs the count to 3-1. Couple more bodies getting busy down in the Aviators bullpen. Okatama misses low, and it's another bases loaded walk. And out of that 10-run threshold for the Zap, Aviators now in danger of getting run ruled again. And we'll have a quick meeting on the mound with Okatama. Chris Romano wants everybody in the infield to stay back. Just wants to go have a chat, coach and pitcher. It looks like he's talking through some mechanics with Okatama out there. And what do you think Romano is reminding Okatama out there on the mound as he kind of shows him that right hip getting through? That's the kind of motion he's making.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is his direction, I would say. Our mound is taller compared to a lot of places, so really focusing on working down and finishing your pitches. I know a few times when I've been up here, I've talked about it with Fassbender. When his fastball plays up, he's just kind of not finishing his pitch, and that's also something I kind of struggle with from time to time. Is a lot of those misses are high because you're really not using your legs, and so your arm can tend to be late.
Getting down the mound. There's Okatama. This one chopped to the shortstop. Pexton will glove. Toss to second for one. On to first for two, but it's dropped by McLaughlin. One run will score. Second coming in. And Gabriel Cantona will get to second base. The fielder's choice and double play attempt will not play in favor of the Aviators. It's 13-1 Zap. Cantona softly hit that one over to Pexton. It was going to be tough to turn to regardless. Higher throw might have gotten him. Well, Zap hang another crooked number here in the fifth inning. And now it'll just be Zap. So bring up Caden Bazanski. Bazanski takes outside for ball one. As a light mist starts to fall here at Hyde Stadium. Couple of folks making their way for the covered area. And I got some bad news for the Sasquatch crew as this one's grounded down the first base line but foul. They lost their hacky sack up on the metal roofing above general admission. So now they start to team up and try to come up with a way to retrieve the hacky sack, which is about 5 or so feet past the gutter. Meanwhile, Bazanski with a 1-1 count. Watches this one bounced in there for ball two. Couple curious passerbys trying to give their best advice on how to retrieve the sack from atop the roof. Okatama set behind 2-1 to Bazanski. This one high and away for ball three. Now they've got a broom and it's just out of the reach. And that one fan, he's got it. He's pulling it towards himself and it looks like he might be able to retrieve the hacky sack. That's a nice play there. This one down and away for ball four, and Bazanski will take his base. So some fans scurrying to get out of the rain. Take a quick look at the radar. Get an idea of what this cell might be doing. And it looks like it doesn't look good, I'll say that. It's just a little bit of a cell that started forming off to our west, and Dylan Bowie will wear a pitch in the meantime. So now the bases are back loaded for the Zap, leading 13-1. Fans aren't leaving. They're just going to get up underneath the roof. A couple of fans had the forethought, brought some umbrellas. Colin Bird will go have another talk trying to calm down Okatama. Now to add insult to injury, Okatama's got to deal with a wet baseball. He's got to face the top of the lineup here in Mason Melton. Just the one out, forces it every bag, including home, with the bases loaded. We can't really see the clouds off back behind us where this cell is moving in from. Looks non-threatening out in front of us across the diamond out into left field. As the first pitch to Melton bounced into the chest plate of Bird. It's not a heavy rain, just one of those kind of annoying spitting rains. Okatama set with the 1-0. Checked his swing inside for ball 2. Problem with this cell is, as it comes across the top of us, doesn't look like it's going to get out of the area until a little bit after 11. This one rifled towards center. This will get down for a base hit in front of Ryan Devereaux. Cantona will score. Everybody moves up 90 feet. It's 14-1 Zap. So Cy Taylor will come back up, looking to add to his very impressive batting average and really just impressive totals on the season. He's driven in 17 runs this year. He's got a chance to add to that big time. First pitch to Taylor is in the dirt across the left-handed batter's box. Taylor spits on that, ball 1. Okatama set and delivers the 1-0 off the plate. Bird dekes a throw down to first. Runners at every bag for the Zap. This one bounced in. Third straight pitch in the dirt. How tough is it when you start to get a little bit of pesky rain like this to control your pitches with a wet baseball? Can't always be dry.
No, yeah, especially with the rain that we got last night. So kind of those ones that get in the dirt, even if it's not really spiked, just kind of a drop. Really anything can kind of mess with your grip on the ball.
This one way into Taylor, and it's another bases loaded walk. Zapper just playing patient at the plate, letting the mound turn in all their runs. It's another 6-run inning here in the bottom of the 5th. They lead 15-1, and that looks like the end of the line for Utai Okatama. We'll have some changes in the field. Looks like Ryan Devereaux going to come in relief. We'll fill you in on the rest after this short break on River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
Since 1894, Ameriprise Financial has worked for their clients' futures, helping millions of Americans retire on their terms. Of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. I remain true to the vision of always putting clients first. I am ready to help you get where you want to be. Located at 740 East Sioux Avenue, Capitol Creek Center, Pierce, South Dakota. Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. Member FINRA and SIPC.
Your best round of the year is waiting for you just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806 at Dunes Golf. Play 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member for unlimited play. And Dunes Golf is a great location for group play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. 18 holes and a driving range beautifully nestled alongside the Missouri River. It's Dunes Golf. Hey, baseball fans, if you're looking for a podcast that is sports and only sports, then come on into Cowart's Corner. We tackle all the big storylines going on in the world of sports, whether it be football, basketball, baseball, softball, hockey, whatever it is. If it's sports, we cover it. So if you're looking to unwind and have a good time, come into Cowart's Corner with me and my dog Charlie on drgnews.com or wherever you find your podcasts. Your best round of the year is waiting for you just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806 at Dunes Golf. Play 9 or 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member for unlimited play. And Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. 18 holes and a driving range beautifully nestled alongside the Missouri River. It's Dunes Golf.
On in relief for the Capital City Aviators here in the bottom of the fifth inning. It's been a 6-run bid for the Zap here at home. Hello, everybody. Justin Coward, CJ Dupuy, Cortana Mancuso on the call here in the booth. And the hardworking Scott Cologne back in the studio. It's kind of the secret weapon of Team DRG Media Group, making everything turn, keep us chugging along. We did have kind of an update from some of the folks. Not an update, but really some of the staff from the Oahe Zap going down and talking to Jamie Habiger, showing him the forecast, talking to Rolando Wallace, the home plate umpire, as to what is possibly headed our direction. Rain continuing to pick up ever so slightly here as Devereaux faces Ty Farwell with 1 out and bases loaded. Zap offense continuing to put up big numbers. 49 hits in the 3 wins against Casper. 6 hits today, and a swing and a miss from Farwell as he was out.
When I just went out there to make sure my bag was in the dugout, it wasn't raining too hard, but you can tell.
Works that we heard rumbling off in the distance. Farwell will take down and away for ball. Of course, the Zap are leading. They really just need 6 more outs. Farwell swings and misses that one. Count evened up at 2-2. And not have to make a decision about the onset of this ball game. This is down away, runs the count full. Especially last year, there was a storm that moved in from the east. And for those unfamiliar with Hyde Stadium, that'll make it 16-1 Zap. Zap will take them where they can get them as they keep piling it on. 7 runs, 5th inning here for the home team. But you could see the storm moving in, and you know, across the river, we've got this great view up here in the broadcast booth of the rolling hills, the bluffs on the other side of the Missouri and Fort Pierre. And you can see them kind of from the left field foul pole all the way across past the right field foul pole. It's a beautiful backdrop. But last year, we started to see this appear. We saw the wind picking up. I knew that something was coming as the first pitch fastball's fired in. For strike 1 to Connor Goldberg. This one high and in for ball 1. There was stuff blowing all over the place. Right side. With his back to the infield, can't hustle down and make the play. Tough play to make. We've got, told you, some movement in the field. Replacing Ethan McLaughlin at first is number 11, Gunnar Campbell. So Campbell with a not-so-routine play. to get his legs loose. 1-2 count. Goldberg, he watches that one bounce on the outside corner. Just a steady sprinkle falling across Hyde Stadium here. This field has seen a lot of precipitation over the past couple of days. Perfectly placed for strike three, and Goldberg goes down looking. Ryan Devereaux paints it right over the middle, and I think if you're an Aviators pitcher at this point, trailing 16-1, you've been in this position against your team before, you say, you know what, we're just going to fire strikes over the plate. If they hit them, great. If they don't, we can get some outs. Dane Gilbert back into the right-handed batter's box for the Zap. 2 outs, bases loaded. And the dirt ball one. And now the drizzle has turned into a full-on rain. That hasn't scared off any Zap fans, as this one's rifled to the second baseman on a knee, fielded by Kurt Heath and tossed to Kobe Pexton for the third and final out. But the Zap hangs 7 in the bottom of the 5th inning. They lead 16-1 here on what was a beautiful afternoon turned rainy at Hyde Stadium. We head to the top of the 6th inning here at Hyde Stadium. More Zap baseball coming up after this.
These days, people consume information at different times of day and through a variety of different platforms. AM and FM radio stations, drgnews.com website, and DRG mobile app provide local news, sports and weather, music and entertainment news, area high school athletic events, and more. But as members of your community, we want to hear from you too. Are you not hearing what you want to hear? Do you have an event coming up that you need advertised? Then let us know by using the Contact Us feature on the drgnews.com website or on the DRG News app. You can send us a song request, a news or sports item, a request for advertising information, and more. Fill in your information, select which type of inquiry you have, provide the relevant details, then click Submit. We make qualifying information available to the public using our DRG Media Group radio stations, drgnews.com website, and DRG News mobile app. Thanks to our advertisers, it's all available to you for free. drgnews.com and the DRG News app are updated throughout the day, so check back often.
At Darren Boyle Sales, I have the Bush Hog equipment on hand to help you with your spring projects. Right now, I have Bush Hog mowers on hand in sizes from 6 to 20 feet. Bush Hog rear-mounted blades, Bush Hog tillage equipment including 4 sizes of rear-mounted tillers, and Dixie Chopper zero-turn mowers on hand. 3 different models available with prices starting at $49.95. Check out my large selection of farm equipment at the lot on Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre. Like the Darren Boyle Sales Facebook page or shop online anytime at darrenboylesales.com.
Ameriprise Advisors can work with you to provide personalized, goal-based advice based on your short and long-term goals. Plus, you can track your investments and financial solutions with our digital tools and regular meetings. Call Ameriprise Financial Advisor Angie Teason with Wealth Partners, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, at 605-224-6777. That's 605-224-6777. Office is located at 740 East Sioux Avenue, Pierre, South Dakota. Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. Member FINRA and SIPC.
Since 1894, Ameriprise Financial has worked for their clients' futures, helping millions of Americans retire on their terms. I'm Rick Doctor, a financial advisor with Wealth Partners, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. I remain true to the vision of always putting clients first. I am ready to help you get where you want to be. Office is located at 740 East Sioux Avenue, Capitol Creek Center, Pierre, South Dakota. Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC. Member FINRA and SIPC.
Your best round of the year is waiting for you just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806 at Dunes Golf. Play 9 or 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member. Play and outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. 18 holes and a driving range beautifully nestled alongside the Missouri River. It's Dunes Golf.
Ameriprise Advisors can work with you to provide personalized, goal-based advice based on your short and long-term goals. Plus, you can track your investments and financial solutions with our digital tools and regular meetings. Call Ameriprise Financial Advisor Angie Teason with Wealth Partners, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, at 605-224-6777. That's 605-224-6777. Office is located at 740 East Sioux Avenue, Pierce, South Dakota.
At Darren Boyle Sales, I have the Bush Hog equipment on hand to help you with your spring projects. Right now, I have Bush Hog mowers on hand in sizes from 6 to 20 feet. Bush Hog rear-mounted blades, Bush Hog tillage equipment including 4 sizes of rear-mounted tillers, and Dixie Chopper zero-turn mowers on hand. 3 different models available with prices starting at $49.95. Check out my large selection of farm equipment at the lot on Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre. Like the Darren Boyle Sales Facebook page or shop online anytime at darrenboylesales.com.
These days, people consume information at different times of day and through a variety of different platforms. That's why DRG Media Group's AM and FM radio stations, drgnews.com website, and DRG mobile app provide local news, sports and weather, music and entertainment news, area high school athletic events, and more. But as members of your community, we want to hear from you too. Are you not hearing what you want to hear? Do you have an event coming up that you need advertised? Then let us know by using the Contact Us feature on the drgnews.com website or on the DRG News app. You can send us a song request, a news or sports item, a request for advertising information, and more. Fill in your information, select which type of inquiry you have, provide the relevant details, then click Submit. We make qualifying information available to the public using our DRG Media Group radio stations, drgnews.com website, and DRG News mobile app. Thanks to our advertisers, it's all available to you for free. drgnews.com and the DRG News app are updated throughout the day, so check back often.
Well, with the Big Cell moving its way from west to east, they have decided to call this one final tonight. And one thing you got to understand, this is a lot of baseball to be played over the rest of the month of July. We're early in the month, of course, 4th of July weekend. And the Zap with a big lead, 16-1 rather. It was time to call it quits. The Aviators have used a lot of arms. Zap have used a couple of arms. Both coaches just thought with the weather coming in, not supposed to be cleared out of here by 11 o'clock. Of course, the Zap coming in from Casper early this morning, getting into town around 6:30. Everybody said, you know what, let's just hang it up, call it quits, and let's face off tomorrow. So, final score 16-1. Zap get it done. They scored 2 runs in the first inning, answering the lone run of the ball game for the Aviators in the first, in which A.J. Ponciano gave up a bases-loaded walk. After that, he would settle in nicely. Still found himself in some trouble, but was able to dance through the raindrops as the rain moved in and was able to keep the Aviators scoreless. We also saw a couple new arms coming in. It was River Walters coming in relief for the Oahe Zap, keeping the Aviators scoreless. Zap offense didn't really have to work too hard tonight. Walks. They scored 2 in the first, 6 in the second. They were held scoreless in the third, scored 1 in the fourth, and scored 7 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Some big hits off the bat of Connor Goldberg. Quinn Ludvigsen had an RBI double that would score the second run of the ball game for the Oahe Zap. First one actually scored on a steal of, Ty Farwell, who took second base. He was thrown out down at second, but it allowed Cy Taylor to score right after that. A couple runners got on. Quinn Ludvigsen was able to bring him around. Gabriel Cantona had a nice base hit here tonight as he makes his way into this Zap lineup and looks good. So congratulations to Gabriel for having a nice hit, but our Rounds Financial Services right on the money highlight belonged to A.J. Ponciano, who was able to keep the Aviators at bay, though he found himself in a little bit of trouble. Again, final score 16-1. Now, I told you Cortana Mancuso had joined us in the booth. She was doing a lot of the camera work, keeping the stream up and running. River 92.7, you better know Cortana as the host of Teen Talk. And Cortana, quickly before we sign off, Teen Talk has been a huge success on the airwaves of River 92.7. You can find her podcasts on the River 92.7 page at drgnews.com. Year starts, you'll be back on the air more often. So first, we'll start. How fun has it been to have your own podcast, to be on the radio and on drgnews.com the way you have been?
Oh, it has been amazing. I get to talk to all sorts of people, and it's just a really good experience for me, and it's helped me be a lot more outgoing, I feel like.
Yeah, and you're coming up on your sophomore year at Riggs High, is that correct?
Yes, I am.
And so you've got plenty more years left of Teen Talk before you have to maybe hand it over to the next wave of young talent, but it has certainly generated a lot of excitement. Have you had an episode thus far?
Definitely. My episode with Andrew Keitlinger, I don't know if it's just because I felt like we had a lot in common, and we clicked right away. the one with Andrew Keitlinger.
And you can find that on drgnews.com or wherever. Pretty good episode for the month of July in the works.
I'll keep that one a bit of a secret.
All right, so you'll have to tune into River 92.7 and also on drgnews.com or wherever you find your podcasts to find Teen Talk. Zap will be back on the 4th of July tomorrow night to take on the Aviators for another 6:05 start, looking to win this short 2-game series before they host the Bison on Sunday and Monday for 2. Again, final score here, 16-1. Want to give a big thanks to all of our great sponsors at Darren Boyle Sales, Family Dental, Dunes Golf, the Boys and Girls Club of the Capital Area, which you can see out there in left field. We'll certainly be having a fun time talking with Steve Steele as our marathon day of golf with the Capital City, with the Boys and Girls Club of the Capital Area comes up quickly. We're going to play 108 holes over at the Great Dunes Golf and maybe more with GM CEO Steve Steele, who also doubles and spends some time as the head football coach of the Peer Governors. And, of course, our friends at Rounds Financial Services for delivering our Rounds Financial Services right on the money highlight, which was A.J. Ponciano's great work on the mound. Rounds Financial Services, where your money works for you. And, of course, our friends at Wealth Partners Ameriprise Financial. Big thanks to C.J. Dupuis for joining us for Color in the Booth, Cortana Mancuso for not only doing a great job on the stream, but introducing us and hopefully turning you to Teen Talk. I'm Justin Coward. Big thanks to Scott Colon back in the booth. The work that guy does behind the scenes. Can't thank him enough for sticking around and for helping the wheels turn on this radio station. One final time from Hyatt Stadium. Zap get the win, 16-1. They pick up their 8th win in the last 9 games. They make it 4 in a row. They'll look to make it 5 in a row tomorrow night against the Aviators here on the 4th of July at home with a 6:05 first pitch. I'm Justin Coward signing off. Have a great Friday night. Have a safe 4th of July. Enjoy 250, everybody. We'll see you next week with some more Zap Baseball right here on River 92.